Can't wear headphones because my hair looks too fucking dope. I get one good hair day a year, and I'm using it. Welcome to the Full Charge Power Hour. I'm Matt Fulcheron. I'm here with Bryan Irwin. Craig Coleman is going to be joining us. He's in traffic. I got a text that said, I'm going to be late, fucking accident.
Yeah, that's a classic Craig Coleman.
Patreon.com/The Full Charge. Send us some money. We're upping our game in that, A, we're in the studio.
Yeah.
But B, we're in the studio for our Patreon videos now too, which this week we're going to have, actually the next 4 weeks, we're going to have me and Bryan doing clips.
Okay.
Maybe Craig. Maybe he'll stay longer now that he's late. Who knows? Oof.
You all right, old man?
Bagel and lox. You know what I'm saying? Coming back to me. Specials coming out September 18th. I'll have a link to the premiere.
Wait, what day is it coming out?
I changed it to September 18th because I talked to my boy Louis Katz, who he's got 1.5 million views on YouTube.
Okay.
And he just knows all these tricks. You know, there's all these tricks to YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, you know that we don't know the tricks. Don't look at the views. Don't look at the views. But there's all these videos. I'm going to get into it. And there's all these dumb things you got to do. Like if you stand on one foot when you hit upload or something. There's all these tricks. I don't know why they don't just make it easy. But there's all these tricks. You got to be on the inside to know all these things.
It's very hard to go viral.
Uh-huh.
Like legitimately viral.
No, I know. So the special's a big deal. And so Louis told me that summertime is not a great time to put out a special, and summertime is not a great time for comedy in general. Okay. That's why I usually work in the summertime. Come see me, Milwaukee Improv, August 13th.
Hometown, baby. My hometown. Not yours.
The Comedy Plex in Oak Park. That's Chicago area.
Second hometown.
The 14th and the 15th of August, and. But yeah, he told me the fall is the best time to release it. So I'm going to release it. And it gives me more time to bug the shit out of Netflix. Yeah. So I can so hopefully sell it and then like people really see it.
But listen, man, I mean, the world, there's been a slight shift. This is the one thing, and we've talked about this before. When you look at all the social media platforms that have existed from the invent of Friendster, MySpace to where we are now, right? There's been one sole survivor throughout the whole thing, which is YouTube. Has never wavered. Yeah. And now, I don't know if you saw this, but 2 of the top movies that are at the box office now are from YouTubers. At the box office. So now they're reviving actual box office. So there's a movie called Obsession.
Let me get this straight. It airs on YouTube.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
The world they developed their following, their craft. They take what they do, their art, right? Yeah. And they are using YouTube to build not just their craft and their art, but an audience that loves their craft and their art of filmmaking, right? Yeah. So you can get you're going back to the Louis Katz thing about 1.5 million. I get the idea of saying, listen, I want to go on Netflix, I want to go on Hulu, etc. But you and I have talked about this off air. I still do believe that even if you don't hit that agenda, my point to you is that we are heading into a direction, and you can either subscribe to this or not. We are heading into a world where you can control your destiny. You don't need the gatekeepers anymore. I'm not saying that you shouldn't still go after the gatekeepers, but you got to stop looking at the world of YouTube as lesser than.
I don't.
And
I'll explain why.
Right, because there is value there.
It's, if you want to take it really far back, to even my Comedy Central special that came out 15 years ago, it airs again. And then it's just kind of gone. Yeah. They had some of it on its website, but there was in that weird gray area where people weren't watching everything online yet. So it's just kind of like people, like internet people. Yeah. There used to be internet people back in the day. Now everyone's an internet person. My point is, it's on YouTube forever. Yeah. So you could have it on there for a year and a half, and it is good to hijack the algorithm and have a bunch of views on it the first day. But let's say somebody references it a year and a half later, it's still there.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, what obscure comedian are you quoting from what obscure defunct cable network?
Right.
It's like, it's there. And what I really like about it, as much as I hate social media, I am going to love social media when you saw my special. It's an hour.
Yeah.
It's about 120 jokes. Craig Coleman is with us.
Yeah.
And he's happy about that.
Is it easier for you to sit in this one?
No.
Okay.
This might be my last show.
Okay. Too much traffic?
Too much goddamn traffic.
All
Well,
right.
there was an accident. Were you able to see it?
No,
That's even worse.
No, they decided to trim the fucking trees and close a lane or two.
Wait, trim a tree?
Yeah, cleaning the fucking freeway or whatever the fuck.
They picked that during drive time?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
my
choice.
God.
Good choices.
The gods hate me. It's already 84 fucking miles round trip.
Oh, I think you're saying 84 degrees. I'm like, that would be...
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the gods.
So I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in angry.
Well, we
Come
missed
in.
you. Imagine this guy's had to talk to fucking me for the last
Yes,
couple
we
shows.
have missed you very much. So thank you for taking the trip.
Yeah.
Even if it's your last one, hopefully we can talk you out of
Man.
that. But you know,
Fuck. I wanted to take my life. I wanted to just pull over and take my life.
because that's unfortunately, you know, people shit on California and we go, no, California's cool. But California can really suck.
Fuck.
Because there's a lot of people here and the roads are built for 1927.
Yeah.
I looked at a house the other day, yesterday. I couldn't even get to the house because the roads were so thin.
Yeah.
And and there was no parking. So many people are parking illegally that I had like 3 standoffs in a half a mile.
Yeah.
But these highways, it doesn't matter how wide they make them. They have to do construction to make them wider.
Yeah.
And then it just doesn't matter because they just fill right into
Yeah,
it.
I was
they
gonna
do.
say, dude, LA sucks so much. Everybody wants to live here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then the really bad part is I used to work at Lightning Dubs. I used to live in Silver Lake, commute to Santa Monica and Lightning Dubs, and I never got a new job because I was just like, I'm going to be a fucking star, man. This job's over next week.
Yeah.
And so I never would look for another day job because I was too busy working on my comedy career. I go to auditions on my lunch break, and then I drive to like Irvine or Ontario, California, after
Yeah.
work, and I'm in the car for 5, maybe more hours a day, and then you're like, all right, drive home's going to be cool. And then that's when they do construction and it's down to 1 lane. And it was back when there was no GPS and no warnings. So you just get stuck in it.
Yeah.
And if you're going north to south like you do, there's no side streets.
Not really.
I mean, you get Sepulveda once you hit LA,
Right.
but before that, it's ridiculous. So yeah.
good.
No, I was just say thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, you made it.
I know you're coming in hot.
Fucking
I know you've been working your ass off.
Yeah, kids don't even understand. We'll talk. We'll finish the YouTube stuff later, but kids don't even understand. Like first it was Thomas guys, then it was these navigation systems like TomTom and stuff like that. Like you could buy your own separate navigation system.
yeah.
Yeah.
But before that, even it was like certain people went out and got cop radars to put on their car so they could speed. Like that's all they cared. You know,
Yeah.
talking about those little radar things that could pick up
Yeah.
the radar guns. Then there was depending on where you lived, there was, if someone was cool enough that was driving the opposite direction, they would flash their lights at you to let you know
There's a cop
that there's
up
a cop
ahead.
up ahead gunning, right?
Totally. That was like when people were cool.
Yes. You had to be careful what part of town you're in because
Right.
sometimes flashing the lights meant gang initiation shit.
But it was also
that was only out here.
I don't even know if that's real.
It was probably an urban myth. You're
It
right,
was,
urban legend.
yeah, but that's the beginning of the end of people being nice to each other. That's the internet before the internet.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a rumor: don't help out your fellow man because you're gonna get shot.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
a good chance.
But I remember the first time I saw my dad do that. Like he's like, I'm letting him know there's a cop there, and I'm like, holy shit, do you know that other guy? No, I'm just looking out for my
just looking
fellow
out.
man.
Yeah.
'Cause let's all.
Wow.
Yeah. We all need to get where we're going.
Yeah.
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 It's like we can all be assholes to each other, but as soon as there's a cop, it's like, hey, we just moved up on the food chain together,
Yeah.
and we're against this
Yeah.
guy over here.
Fucking A,
Who's
dude.
gonna bust
It
us.
was interesting because the navigation systems started incorporating police like notifications.
Yes.
Waze
But it
does. That's why I
Waze
like
still
it.
does because it's user based, but the other apps I believe do not. They'll let you know if it's an accident related.
That's
thing,
why I don't use them.
But they won't let. They do not inform you that
Yeah.
there's just police in general
That's
around.
why I don't use them.
However, The other day, I was looking at my Apple Maps or one of the maps I was on, and it was like notifying you now of like there's a fire over there. There's somebody harassing someone with a knife over on the other thing.
I don't give a shit about that.
It's interesting that they're doing it, but unless it's related to like if you're planning on getting off here, just so you know, there's a guy with a knife. You may not. I don't know if that's why they're doing it or what, but it was just a weird addition that they put into
LA, dude. There's guns, there's knives. I've already rolled these dice.
Every off ramp.
Yeah, let's go to work. I just want to know who's sitting here fucking hiding out with the goddamn radar gun about to give me more points on my insurance.
Yeah, you're weighing which could cost me more, the guy with the knife or the.
Let's go.
By the way, how horrible it is that every single holiday weekend, Amber Alerts are off the charts.
You talking about recently, right? That was nuts.
That was what was it? Memorial Day? I get them mixed up.
3 or 4 of them. It was Memorial Day.
Yeah, it's just like everybody in the whole coffee shop. It's wild, man.
It's sad, but at the same time, you realize you're being brought into someone's domestic dispute.
Yeah,
9 times out of 10.
I was gonna say, you're always like, is it but is it the dad that kidnapped the kid, or is this an actual kidnap?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, once the dad's kidnapping the kid, I think
it's still a kidnap.
Yeah.
Hey,
Craig doesn't care about that one.
I really don't. I'll
tell you this: it's a lot faster than a milk carton.
Yeah, right?
Another one for the kids. This is how slow news used to move back in the day.
I forget.
Someone gets abducted, and then 2 months later, there's their picture on on a milk carton.
Yeah.
That's supposed to let you know, like, hey, if you've seen this person, they've been kidnapped.
Yeah.
Before that, they didn't do shit.
Nothing.
No.
And so I saw some comedian goes, finally somebody went like, I don't know, I guess we should maybe look for some of these kids.
Yeah, right?
Maybe they're not all runaways.
Right.
And that's just lazy fucking police.
There's a lot of stuff to take care of.
When you read these like serial killer books and detective books and crime and shit, it's all lazy cops. 9 out of 10.
Well, and also when you watch these documentaries, you see the cops are like, all right, we got somebody. Let's try to fuck them. Like, let's try to arrest this guy. All the evidence doesn't necessarily
point to that guy.
But we got a guy in the room. Let's see if we can get him.
They're like, we've decided it's this guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I do still want to know where someone was like, what's the best option we have to getting the word out when they finally decided? And someone was like, well, everyone loves milk.
Everybody drinks milk.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, and if
that
you think
wasn't
about
a bad move.
It wasn't saying.
It'd be a terrible move today. No one drinks milk.
Now it'd be water. Now it'd be water bottles.
Now
but then which water bottle? Which water bottle?
It's like we're going to put the notifications on the Bazooka Joe gum. Yeah. Like, oh, that's really going to fucking help.
Hey, this used to be Archie comics.
Yeah.
Now I got to worry about a kid missing? You're killing me here.
By the way, how insecure you are in your product where you're like, it's also a comic comes with it. Right. You're not just getting shitty candy.
You're like, this gum's hard as a rock. We threw a comic in there. Let's do it.
I will say, though, that the Game Changer was America's Most Wanted. That shit went off the roof. They busted a lot of people on that show. That dude lost his kid. I forget the guy. What was the guy's name?
Adam.
Well, the kid's name was Adam.
And I'll never forget.
John.
Because there was like a TV movie that went with a real people news story.
Just lost my hat. How's my hair?
Yeah, it looks great.
It looks pretty good, actually.
Looks great.
Actually, this is funny. I always wear hats, right? You guys do be pre-hat. But I wear hats all the time, so my kids, when I take my hat off, their friends are like, "Oh, I thought your dad was bald."
Right.
I was like, "No,
you're doing pretty good."
Well, you're gonna go bald. You keep wearing hats.
I've heard that now for 50 years.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm just
Aaron,
saying.
What was the guy's name? That John Walsh. The guy.
Yeah.
John Walsh.
Yeah, he crushed it.
Yeah.
He did.
By the way,
he made a career out of this.
Yes.
And listen, no ill will to the guy. He's been through a horrible trauma. But he's still going.
He is still going.
Didn't he become more of a reality star after a while? Didn't it become less about child abductions?
It did. It changed everything. So I was going to say to you, and I don't know why this came up recently, but I actually used to be friends with one of the most famous, what do you call it when you're on the loose? Like what is it called? A fugitive.
A fugitive, yeah.
One that got busted by America's Most Wanted.
Because you didn't... Did you know he was a fugitive?
No. First off, it was a she. When I was in Wisconsin, so anybody that would listen to this would be from
equal
Wisconsin.
opportunity.
No, I'm just letting you know. Like, if you ever heard of Lawrencia Bembenek, there was 2 movies that were made called Run Bambi Run.
Okay, I've heard of Run Bambi Run.
That is based on her. She was a police officer.
Okay.
And she was accused of murdering the wife of the guy that she was sleeping with.
Okay.
It's always that.
She went to prison and she got help. She escaped. She was very good looking, so that was why why.
Sure.
That's why
Bambi.
this whole thing, Bambi.
It wasn't Run Godzilla Run.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hey, we're looking for a lazy-eyed. She's got a bit of a gout foot.
Yeah, no
and,
one care. No one would care, right?
Yeah.
It's like, or no one's helping that person get out. That's
and
the
the
problem.
left side of her face is droopy, very ugly, unattractive.
But yeah, she escaped. She ended up being getting caught on America's Most Wanted in Canada.
Wow.
Now, how did you know her?
So then they bring her back. And the trial, it was the reason why it was so famous because the trial was like, did she really do it? Did she not do it? Was she set up like the whole thing?
Is she hot without makeup?
Yeah, but all of it. Honestly,
Blowjob Bambi. We're not sure how she got out.
I mean, you guys both joked about it, but let's be honest. That probably makes a huge fucking difference in how people perceive you.
Yeah.
And your guilt. If she, like you said, if she was missing a leg and had an eye patch, no one would give a fuck. They'd be like, just fry her.
Also,
right? Seriously.
Also, as a victim, remember that Gabby Pepito?
Yeah.
She was smoking hot.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
Right.
And it was a big news story. But she's not the only person that was murdered.
Right. By her boyfriend. Yeah.
There's thousands of people murdered that week.
Very, very important too. It's a great lens on society when you see like how we react and how we react.
Patrice O'Neal does the best talk about that whole thing.
Yeah.
If you see Elephant in the Room,
Yeah.
he does a whole thing about that girl that goes missing in Aruba.
Oh, yeah.
And he asks the audience, he's all, where he says, there was this black girl, she went missing. She goes, what was that girl's name? It was like a week ago.
Nobody knows.
Ah, man, nobody knew her name. He goes, now 2-3 years ago, there was this blonde bitch over in Aruba, and everybody's all, Owie! They knew her name off.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh shit.
Busted.
And then he points at some black girl in the audience. He goes, how long you think they'd look for you? And she goes, and he goes, see? Like she knew. He goes, like he's not even making fun of how unattractive she is.
Yeah, right.
It's like, you're not as beautiful as that chick.
Yep.
Like me, it'd be like, blip. If I didn't even make the news, there'd probably have to be 5 other dead people.
We're also past our point of like people giving a fuck.
Oh, way past.
Yeah, no, we're one Amber Alert because we wandered off one night.
Sure, just to be polite
I'm a
to our
silver
families.
alert.
Yeah.
If anything.
Just a junior soprano when we junior soprano ourselves down the street.
So true though. There was the woman, the girl in Italy who became famous got busted in that. Because remember the roommate got murdered in Italy. I forget her name.
Yeah, that was. Hold on. Give me a second.
Another one. Where's Aaron? You can ask him.
And that's
Amanda Knox.
Foxy Knoxy.
Yeah.
she almost went
there
to
you
fucking prison because those wackos are like, oh, this was a satanic ritual murder.
Yeah, they put a whole story together.
And everybody's always, whenever they say that, everybody involves like, satanic what?
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's not happening.
It's the best way to vilify somebody.
Seriously.
Even in this age to be like, she's a witch.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
I mean, the people that are actually doing that kind of shit, it's very well known that, I'm in the Church of Satan.
People who are doing that, they're at their last fucking move. And even that, and worshiping Satan's not even going to work.
Yeah.
Look, it's great for True Detective or a TV show.
Right.
It adds drama and layers to like
and heavy metal music.
Yeah, exactly.
And cool patches on a Gene Jackson.
So, long story short, Lawrencia Bembenek gets caught. She gets extradited back to the United States, and they decide, ultimately, they go back to court. They decide time served. Somehow or another, it worked out.
How long did she do? 5 years?
Maybe.
It's not just time served, it's hot time served.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so she was out.
Look, she's good looking. We need her out there.
The security cam footage is actually watchable now.
Yeah. So she gets out. She writes a book. She does this whole thing. And at this time, I was working in a small ad agency in Milwaukee. And my boss comes in one day and she says, hey, she calls like a meeting and says, hey, I just want you to know, I'm hiring somebody. And I'm only telling you because it's probably going to be a little bit, gnarly because
Did she know this person?
I don't remember. It's been so long. This is probably.
I thought this was definitely a Herald Examiner story.
No. This is like 30 years ago.
This is a Milwaukee story?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So it was Lawrencia Bembenek, and I was an account manager. So she was like trying to get into
account manager in Wisconsin.
Dude.
Yeah,
the many lives of Bryan.
Yeah, I don't know why you came out here, dude.
It sounds way more important than
I didn't say it sounded important. I'm saying you've had a life.
Yeah, I've had a life.
I'm saying you could have already owned a home. Well, you already do own a home.
No,
he won. He still won.
No,
you
so
still
don't worry about it.
No, we'll get that. I owned a home in Milwaukee at one point. I had to give that up.
Of course you did.
Wow.
I had the first divorce. I had to walk from that.
Yeah, dude. That's the other part.
The first divorce. The
I'm
only
surprised
divorce.
you don't have 5 other kids we don't know
The Secret
about.
Life of Bryan Irwin.
Yeah.
When's the book book coming out? That's what I want to know.
I was a Navy SEAL, but it was
not as interesting.
I was an assassin. It's not. I can't really talk about it.
I invented the stamp.
Yeah. I'm not that old. Shit. My kids did ask me one time what life was like in black and white. I'm like, you guys need to shut up. That was not even a real thing.
What was life
I'll tell you what it was like in blurry color. But if after before that, I don't know.
Hey, I'll tell you what blurry vision's like. Bah, you motherfucker. No.
So long story short, yeah, I worked with her. I befriended her because I had to. We had to go do a bunch of stuff. We had to do radio stuff. She was doing cartoon strips and stuff like that, which I still have. Somewhere in my house, I have all of her stuff because I don't remember what happened. I think I actually left. I don't know. Ultimately, what became of her, years later. She had drank a lot, and then she passed away at a relatively young age.
Yeah, because it's hard to think about the murder you committed all the time.
This is the most amazing part of the story.
Yeah.
So she did write a book. So she had this boyfriend or whatever, and she was like, oh, we should hang out and go out, whatever. And I was my ex-wife. We were kind of talking about it, and my ex-wife's like, okay, well, before we go, I want to read the book. So she had given us an autographed copy
before
of the book.
divorce.
So did.
Autographed copy of the book, and so my wife reads the book, and she goes, "We're not going out with her."
She goes, "She murdered."
And
her.
I'm divorcing you before you kill me.
So she goes, "I read the book. I think she's guilty. We're cutting off the friendship." I'm like, "Hold on, it's her book.
Yeah.
She wrote the book." She goes, "I know.
Yeah,
but I believe after reading her book."
Yeah.
That she's guilty, and she stood firm on it. And I had to end the relationship. I had to call and be like, yeah. It was just really weird.
Well,
I didn't see why.
She knows why.
Think about your ex-wife's perspective. She's like, yeah, I could get killed so that Bryan could have his true love. Right? There's some serious paranoia
I never looked at it
there.
that way.
Sometimes it takes an amateur eye.
Yeah. So first of all, I'll say that women are better at that than men.
They are. They're 100%. Way more perceptive.
Way more perceptive.
A book that someone else wrote can be a lie detector test for a woman. They'd be like, oh, I'm reading between the lines.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She's like, yeah, this bitch absolutely killed her.
This is what I would say if I killed somebody.
And she's just like, oh, fuck, if she develops a crush on Bryan, Bryan's pretty shallow-brained.
Tall, too.
I'm dead.
Yeah,
I'm dead. I'm going to get a divorce.
But she did the right thing of getting rid of me, of course. But for a multitude of other reasons of my epic failures over and over and over again. No, she did.
We don't have to go through that.
Yeah, we don't have to go through
you
it.
confessed about that.
My ex-wife did me a solid because I have the best life in the world now.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you don't. This is what you try to explain to people, like when they go through breakups and stuff like that. This is like what our kids are gonna. They're in the early stages of like everything right now is how it's always gonna be, and you're like, yeah, I'm sorry to let you know that
you're not even going to remember this.
Yeah,
you're not even remember what you look like right now.
Yeah, and yes.
Wait, who said what?
Just relationships.
His kids.
You think like everything that happens in life, this is it, right? Every decision you make is
a
like
breakup.
This
when
is
you're
how
21
it's always
years
going to
old.
be. Relationship.
It's
job.
like, oh my God, I'll never love again. It's like, motherfucker, you haven't loved yet.
I'm going to have my first love is going to be my only love. I'm always going to work this job that I just got is going to be my career.
Can we talk about that though? Because we all fall for it. They laugh at women for these Hollywood ideals of your true love, but we're all sold. What is that expression?
A bill of goods.
Yes,
yes.
We're all sold that this is like your soulmate, and you find the right person, shit is going to be perfect. And the truth is, you pick who you pick, and if you put the work in, it's a good relationship.
Yeah. Sure.
And if you don't, it's a shitty relationship.
It's going to suck ass.
Yeah.
This idea that somehow or another you find somebody and it's fucking smooth sailing from here on out, like
floating.
there's no issues, like you're out of your effing mind.
Yeah, it's crazy, but we are constantly sold it.
Yeah.
Constantly sold it. Every time you watch TV, we're getting more cynical. We're getting there with our entertainment. But there's still like these happy endings and shit.
So here's where I think it went south.
Please.
And I want to know. No.
Oh.
Well, yeah, there was this. That's one thing I'll never understand. If you don't want to be with somebody anymore,
go.
Just pack up. Why are you killing them?
Yeah.
That one I never understood.
Who thinks they're going to get away with it?
No one has ever gotten away with it either. That's
I know.
the thing.
Every one of them thinks they're going to
Well,
get
actually,
away with it.
Robert Blake got away with it, right?
Yeah, but he's famous and had like lawyer money and all this shit, and that was 30 years ago.
He did unbelievably get away with it.
He did, yeah. Totally
and that's also stupid.
He's dead, right? Did he die? Yeah.
Yes.
Dead?
Yeah, and nowadays they dig
Naturally.
up some tweet from like 15 years ago, but like, see, guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah. So I don't know how it was in your guys' neighborhood. So my parents are older; they're in their mid to late 90s. So they grew up in a generation, and this is where I think we were fooled round one is where you're fooled. Round one of fooling is the divorce rate was low, but the misery rate was high because they stayed together.
Oh, yeah.
So no one got divorced. So you thought, well, yeah, so if you get married, you've been duped that it will be forever, not realizing that
they're
it's
just
a
drunk all the
shitstorm in the
time.
house, or they're sleeping in separate rooms.
Yes.
They haven't talked to each other for 40 years.
Yes.
But we're not seeing it because no one's talking about it.
We're staying together for the kids.
Now, I don't know if you guys
Me
came
and
from different places
bitch
where...
are staying together for the kids.
So where you grew up, was the divorce rate higher, or did people still stick together? And same with you?
Divorce rate high, my parents together, and I still thought, divorce would be a terrible thing. Then I thought, oh, there's so many divorces, it's probably not that terrible. And then you get older and you hear about all these people traumatized by it.
Yeah.
That it's probably a terrible thing, but it's better than an unhappy home, in my opinion.
Well, and then you start realizing how many of the friends that you had that were shitheads, you find out that it's a fucking nightmare at home. That's just why they're shitheads, right?
I mean, I grew up in a divorce home.
Right.
No, but did they stay together?
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kids that were wacko not because their parents got divorced, because it was such a train wreck in the house because they didn't get divorced, so they grow up around this just constant chaos.
There's a staying together. There's a staying together.
That's worse for the kids.
Trauma too.
Yes. Worse.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I even paid attention or gave a fuck about what adults were feeling.
Good. That's good. I'm glad. As your friend, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the 80s. You didn't talk about feelings.
Right. I know. Isn't that crazy?
Your friend just killed himself and everybody goes, what?
It must be so crazy for
Yeah.
you guys because you grew up like that and then you have kids in a time where you just can't act like that. They'll call the cops if you're a fucking asshole to your kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you got to be like this sensitive person. You didn't learn it. You just got to know
I
it.
didn't learn it.
Yeah.
And I did have to be a sensitive person.
Sure,
and
yeah.
go like, oh, okay, yeah, you're sad? All right, let's talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Why are you sad?
Yeah.
Right.
Life. Oh, yeah, life sucks.
Right. When we were kids, it's like, listen, this emotion you're having is very inconvenient.
Yeah.
We're trying to take your ass to school right now. And you have to go to school.
I'll be honest.
You have to get good grades.
I'll be honest with you, dude. Nobody asked.
You're right.
Nobody fucking cared, dude. You sit in your room. Nobody gave a fuck.
We were
My mom recently realized I was
Recently?
Yeah, recently realized I had a crippling meth problem, and that's why I went to Alaska.
Yeah, sure.
And I can't remember what brought it up. I think we were just talking about something, and she's like, yeah, why did you go to Alaska? I go, I had a crippling meth addiction.
Oh my God, thank you. So,
but hold on a second. What does she say?
She goes, what?
No idea.
I didn't know that.
So what about the woman's intuition thing?
Well, again, my mom was got pregnant when she was 17 years old. Right, grew up in extreme poverty, and I think she got her idea of what a mom is from TV.
Right.
And she's like, oh, okay, that's what I'm gonna be. And she was the best fucking mom you could ever have. My Karen always says, like, what would Marlene do?
Yeah.
Because my mom is there. She's like, checks in, she's on. If she knew there was something wrong with me, she would have.
So you were
helped me
hiding
out.
things.
I had there was a lot of trauma that happened to my side of the world with my real dad that she didn't know how to deal with and didn't deal with it right. But that's also in a time when people couldn't afford therapy. And it was more like
you only went to therapy if you were like insane.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, you're one step away from being institutionalized.
Right. That's all that would have happened.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have sought out a psychiatrist.
Ship them out.
Yeah, my dad would have been like, we don't
military
have that kind of
school,
fucking
some
money.
ship away
How about
thing.
that treatment?
Yeah.
Oh, you're sad? Life's about to get a lot sadder.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Did you have friends that went to military school because they were troublemakers?
There was a military school in my network of schools, and I know somebody who ended up being in the military. And then recently, one of my friends I went to high school with opened up in the group chat about how he went to this place. It's called Leonard Hall, and just talked about how it was like Full Metal Jacket, and how like all this stuff. It wasn't him, but somebody embarrassed themselves in front of everybody. Instead of the school going, hey, let's take care of you, they ostracized the guy and make an example of the guy for being weak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's even physical abuse.
Right.
So, listen, man, and this shit's still going on because there's a reaction to all this sensitivity that we're seeing where it's like, no, we're going to make a real man out of you.
Yeah.
And so this is never going to end.
Right.
You know?
Well, you know why they want men. They want killing machines. That's all they care about.
Yeah, right.
When it comes to that stuff, they need you. At the end of the day,
sensitive.
There's a Ken Burns documentary that talks about this. Moving into the Vietnam War, because you remember the Vietnam War was that was like one of those wars where like there was constant protests. It was unlike World War I and World War II. It was like let's go,
we gotta go fight
good guys, bad guys.
Yeah. And then a lot of the wars after that were kind of become sort of questionable. Like, why were you doing the Korean thing? Like, what are we doing?
Like, well, they're communists. You're like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, how is it affecting us at home?
And they're like, yeah, well, they want to change their country to communism, and I'm like, it's their fucking country.
Right.
I don't give a fuck what they want to do.
That's a lot of people's opinions. By the time it gets to Vietnam, and then your kids are going off to die for a reason you don't believe in.
Nothing.
Yeah.
What did Ali say? He goes, what, you want to send me 13,000 miles to go kill the Vietnam? He goes, they never did nothing to me.
Yep.
White man
doing it to me in my own country.
Right.
So, dude, Vietnam was a fucking joke.
But what they realized was that they were sending people and they didn't have the drive to kill.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, you have to change the mindset of like, if you're going to go into the military and we send you to war, you can't be second guessing whether or not I pick up this rifle and I shoot the guy across from me.
Yeah.
You got to, they had to change the mindset of people to become killing machines.
Right.
And so you also, it makes it easier if you could start that before they ever show up to the military.
Yeah.
You got to get people more yoked. You got to be more alpha. You got to be more, you got to be a fighter.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be a dick.
Hi, I'm an alpha kid.
You gotta be a dick.
I'm a dickhead kid.
Yeah, that kind of shit. I don't know how we got off on that. I want to get back to Alaska because Natalie, my wife, she next year for her birthday, she wanted to take a cruise to Alaska.
Of course.
Yeah. And she goes, well, Craig was in Alaska, right? And I go, yeah. And she goes, why did he end up in Alaska? And I go, I don't remember. So I get to go home today and go, I know meth. He was on meth and he just ended up there because we were both going, yeah, that is really weird. She goes, well, did Karen live up there first? I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know how he managed to get. I go, it is weird to think about. That's most people when they live in our concentrated part of the United States, going to Alaska,
that's another country,
right? Going to Hawaii, you go, I get it, it's a tropical environment, but when someone says I'm moving to Alaska, you kind of go, well, what's going on?
Oh, I'm moving away from society.
Yeah, I'm going to hide.
Yeah.
So I'm getting away from the continental U.S. Like you said, you don't have to get a new ID, but it's like you're going to a new country.
So I want to know this Alaska journey. And should we still go up there for her birthday to celebrate?
Yes, you should.
It's beautiful, right?
You're going to do
been there?
I've been there several times, and it's beautiful, and there's no assimilation period. It's like it's America. It's the U.S.
Yeah.
And Canada's similar to that, but Alaska is the fucking U.S. and it feels and looks like the U.S.
But you didn't go there with a meth problem, just to clarify.
No, I went there with a comedy problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're going to take a cruise, so it's going to take you to all these cool little areas like the capital, Juneau, which you can't get to as a citizen unless you fly there.
Oh, okay.
Or, fly there. Or boat.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's funny that they put the capital. They're like, oh, well, all the highways go here to Anchorage. Let's put the capital, fuck you guys, over here. On the edge.
You gotta love it.
No roads going to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool about it. It's like, we're the U.S., but we're also just fringe. So we don't live normal lives.
They call you guys, this is the lower 48.
Yeah, right.
When you're up there, this is the lower 48.
But how does meth make you go to Alaska?
So let's say that summer, the summer of 90, 91,
all right.
90, I knew 3 groups of my friends that all sold meth, right? They were all drug dealers.
So we're talking about more than 3 people. We're talking about 3 different groups.
We're talking about 3 different groups. It's probably altogether 12 people.
Was there a difference in the quality of meth amongst the groups?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was.
A hierarchy of meth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this one guy, he got it straight from the guy because he would be like, look at this batch.
Heisenberg.
Yeah, he'd be like, this batch is still drying. He goes, but this batch is ready to go. Like, I came in his house one day and he's just like, he had a crossbow and he shot it into these like giant Alpine speakers, like they're like $1,000 speakers back in, shung, and I go, whoa, and he just goes, He goes, yeah, fuck those. Some dude gave me those. He said, I don't even give a shit because somebody else gave me this. And he's just
that's a transaction.
The speakers came from meth. It was meth for speakers, basically.
Yeah, and so I knew that was the guy. I think I've told you guys this story. When I graduated high school, that was the guy that gave me like an ounce of weed and an 8-ball of cocaine for like $100, which. That's a good value.
That's a good deal.
I would know.
Even today.
These kids don't know about value.
Yeah.
They don't know about the value of $1. You didn't
We're
Venmo
talking,
him.
that's about $400 worth of dope,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And when he gave that to me, he goes, he looked at me, because I graduated that day, he goes, I'm really proud of you, man.
Now, take your life into the toilet.
This is so Breaking Bad. This is so Breaking Bad.
So that summer was just out of control, where I would just be up for like 5 days.
Yeah.
At more than one time I did that. For 5 days, you'd just be like,
right.
You know, just looking on window patrol, like, who's that? You know.
And we've been over this before, but you must be insane. Because I went through, I
was insane.
I decided I had to get out of the habit of taking edibles every night. So I went like 4 nights without edibles this week, and I had crazy insomnia and stuff.
Oh, sure.
And I didn't sleep one night, really. I slept for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I felt crazy and angry and upset and all this stuff. Like, don't you go nuts when you haven't slept in 5 days?
Oh, yeah, dude. You see things that aren't there. You hear things no one's saying.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm walking by a group of people, one of those people is like, Craig Coleman, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
You know, and luckily I'll usually be with someone who's sober, and I'll be like, oh, dude, those guys are talking about me. My buddy Ronnie, he'll just stop and go like, dude, look at me.
Yeah.
Those guys in suits don't know who the fuck you are.
Right.
You don't matter. You don't count. He
Thank
goes,
God.
Nobody said your name.
That's a life lesson.
Yeah.
More
It
than a
is.
meth lesson. That's all about life.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's wise.
Nobody cares.
Because you might think like people are like always on the internet talking shit
Right.
about you.
Nobody
just because you
cares.
saw it once.
Right.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck. So yeah, at that point, and so then I'd be up for days and just bouncing from group to group and just out of my mind. And I finally hit a point. I was just like, it's like the sun's coming up again. I've watched the sun set and come up for 5 days. I'm hearing voices. I'm seeing shit that's not there. And I just go like, I got to get away from everything. And, and I'd moved away already and went to Torrance with LAPD, which became Corn, and I was hanging out there for a year. And when I lived there, no drugs.
Right.
Other than, psychedelics and whatever was free.
Regular hippie shit.
Regular hippie shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody that was in meth. Nobody was doing meth down there. But as soon as I got back to Bakersfield, I was like, fucking window patrol.
Yeah.
And so, that one night, the last night, I was just like, fuck, I could go live with Wes. My dad, my real dad, I've never lived with him.
Right.
I'd see him once a year when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'd go up to Alaska, and I just said, fuck it. And I called him, and I had to wait.
This is what I love.
The sun comes up. It's an hour earlier in Alaska. You're like, all right, it's Saturday.
So Craig has the idea that he's going to call his dad.
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
But now he's got to wait like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And hope that he still wants to call him.
Yeah.
And just trying to figure out, like, this guy I see once a year, 20 years ago, what time does he get up in the morning?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if he's an early morning riser. I don't even know if he works on Saturdays. And I fucking was just like, and you're being quiet in your room.
Yeah.
Because you're the only person awake. And you're like,
yeah.
Try not to make too much noise. Other my mom's coming in, they're going, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
You're like, raccoon eyes. You're like, eh.
I'll tell you in 30 years,
yeah.
Mom.
Yeah. You'll find out in 30 years. And so I call him. It's literally like, in Alaska, it must have been 8:01. Bring. I was like, hey, what's up, Dad? He's like, no, nothing. What's going on, dude? Nothing. I was wondering, could I come and live with you this summer?
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah.
That's awesome.
He's like, yeah, it'd be great, dude. And he got rid of his roommates. He's like, sorry, you guys got to move out. My son's
That's
coming.
great.
So he kicked everybody out of the house.
They're hill people now.
Yeah. They're like, that's cool. I'm going to go kill everybody I hate.
And that guy ended up being Jules' father.
That's right. She's from Alaska.
Yeah, there was a whole show on like one of these reality shows about people that live in the woods or live in cabins or whatever. And they don't even tell you, but you find out through the internet that it's like Jules' family.
Sure. They lived in Homer.
Yeah, right.
Homer's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood has a house there.
That's obviously a big thing for you, though, is moving to Alaska, getting away from California, and just finding a new perspective on life.
Yeah.
It's where you met Karen. It's where you were in probably your favorite band that you've ever been in.
Yes, yeah, dude. Alaska's got my heart.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm from Moses Lake. I love Moses Lake. I wouldn't want to live there. Fuck that.
Yeah.
But my family that I love, my core family's there. Bakersfield, whatever. I did my teen years there.
Yeah.
It broke me as a person. All the worst shit that ever happened to me happened in fucking Bakersfield.
Right.
Well, we know how you feel about that.
Yeah. So Bakersfield's both love you, fuck you.
Right.
And then Alaska has my absolute heart. And LA.
Yeah.
I have spent the most time here and done the most shit.
Yeah.
So it's Alaska and LA, really.
So do I tell her that meth is what got you there? So when she asks,
but spin it positively. It's what got him off meth.
It's what got me. Yes.
There you go.
So going there got me off of that shit. Because I stayed there this summer. Winter was coming, and I was like, all right, I'm cool. I've been sober for 4 months. I'll go back. I got there on a Tuesday. By Saturday, I'm like, looking out windows again, just fucking out of my mind.
Addiction,
I went to see that guy, crossbow guy,
of course.
and I owed him like $400.
Why would you even go there if you owed him money?
Because, dude, you gotta go make peace. It's not like he was John Gotti. He was gonna have me fucking chopped.
He had a crossbow.
The guy wasn't serious.
He wasn't
though.
gonna kill me.
So instead of money, he got some speakers and a crossbow, and he used the crossbow to ruin the speakers.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is not... He's
care.
not a businessman.
Not at all.
This guy is like, did Gary Oldman study guys like this to be his characters? And
So that's a different level. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, again, I wasn't hanging out with people that would actually cross the line and murder somebody.
Right.
But when
Unless they try to rob your store.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple murders I was adjacent to.
Yeah.
But,
A couple gray areas. A couple legal
Save it for your
murders.
book, Murder Adjacent.
He fucking, when I came in, I said, hey, dude, I still owe you $400, and I honestly don't know when I'm going to get it to you. And he was just like, dude, if $400 was a problem, I'd fucking be fucked.
Yeah.
And then he's just like...
buddy.
Let's go.
Which, by the way, $400 was like $3,000 back then.
Sure.
You know?
And that meant nothing to him.
Right.
And he, right away, he's like, here's some weed.
Right.
Let's do some rails.
Yeah.
He just gave me shit.
So you went to make peace, and you came home with turmoil.
Fucking back to being a drug addict. So then that got to the way it was. So once winter was over, I just went to live with him, and I just stayed in Alaska for 7 years.
There you go.
That's great. 7 years? I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Because I was like, at that point, I was like, if I go back, I'm getting fucked up. There's just no way around it.
Yeah.
So I literally just stopped talking to all those people.
Yeah.
And I don't know them to this day.
That's cool.
Like, I don't know
man.
what happened to Joe. Joe
Sure.
could be in prison for all I know.
But it's totally like it's so cool up there. There's this like moose
It's
on
so
the side of the street.
fucking
So it's
beautiful.
very rural. So it's very rural.
Where I lived was rural.
But Anchorage is like a real city, man.
Yeah.
But then I moved to Anchorage. It's a city, you know.
Not a city like this.
No.
Nothing's
not
a
at
city
all.
like this.
That's what I'm saying. When you say
it's a big
city,
town to
big
you.
town. Yeah,
but it's still beautiful. There's
Yeah.
still a ton of nature.
Yeah.
And you know, where I lived in Soldotna was just fucking God kissed the earth.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that place. Yeah, dude. I would live there if I had a bunch of money. I'd have a house there. I'd live most of my time up there.
I've always wanted to go to Alaska. I am a little concerned about the cruise part of it because these days it seems like these things are turning into cesspools. But maybe it's a little bit different up
Cruises
there.
are crazy, but you got to understand.
Have you been
that.
on a cruise before?
Never been on a cruise.
No,
but
no desire.
I do think that you hear about stuff in the news, but it's just like one ship every 3 years you hear about.
I was just curious if you guys.
You know, it's not like every cruise is a nightmare.
Yeah, so you never did comedy on a cruise.
No, and I've had like 3 cruise agents, and they're like, give me 4 minutes of clean tape, and I'm like, but cruise,
yeah, I'd be like, I'm out.
Cruise comedy, it's like when people start describing it to me, I start getting sick to my stomach.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah,
It pays well though, right?
Because I can play. Yeah, but that's relative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what's good about it is it's consistent. The closest I've come to a cruise is I play retirement communities, and I play casinos.
Okay.
But you have to have like hours and hours of clean material to do these things.
I'm out.
You know, and I just don't got it.
Yeah. Get me on the rowdy cruise ship.
Yeah.
Like, hey, they're doing this, it's a bunch of orgy shit.
Right.
And they want a comedy
Orgy
room.
shit.
I'd be like, all right.
That one's guaranteed it's going to have disease.
For sure.
So
I ain't jumping in the orgy pit, so I'm good.
Or swimming.
Yeah.
Or eating at the buffet.
Or do the buffet.
Yeah.
I know this comic that used to, he was older than me, and he told me about, he caught the tail end of the 80s heyday, and he said he loved playing cruises because he'd be a celebrity on the ship.
For sure.
And all I'm hearing is, I didn't think anything of it then because I wasn't that experienced. All I'm thinking now is, you know, you have a bad show, you're that kind of celebrity on a ship.
That's what someone pointed out to me.
Yeah, you're just there. And there's stories of people getting, like, bombing so bad they have to get helicoptered out.
Damn!
Right? Because, like, comedy can cause confrontation and turmoil and chaos if people don't like it.
Helicoptered out.
If you're
Isn't that crazy?
They're like, look, they want to throw you over the shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Overboard.
We've got to get you out. And I'm sure another comic came in on that.
yeah.
We're going to put you on a dinghy.
And that's like an Apocalypse Now scene. It's like, we got to get you. He's like, I had to do the Caribbean cruise.
You actually have to go to the helicopter with a towel over your head so they don't even know it's you. That's how bad it is.
Right?
Never get off the boat.
Yeah.
You're goddamn
Look,
right.
this guy's got Ebola, so we're going to throw you on the same
I mean, if you
chopper.
think about the guy that was doing it in the 80s, that's coming off the heels of The Love Boat, which was a massive success on television. So
For some reason.
everybody there
can
was
we
in
slow
love
down?
and happy.
Because even people that saw it probably don't remember The Love Boat. The Love Boat was a great show where it was all about the guest stars.
Yes.
It was like Fantasy Island in the water.
Yes.
Right.
So,
Without the magic.
and so these people, like the captain of the fucking ship, is actively trying to make sure people fall in love. And this brings us back to
That's right.
this true love thing we're talking about. It's like, oh, you can't find anybody in your hometown? How about somebody on a cruise? How about after this, you uproot your entire life to go move to Cheyenne, Wyoming?
Wherever the fuck this guy
Yeah,
lives.
right, because you found true love.
Yeah, on a
And you're
boat.
about to find some serious boredom. No offense, Cheyenne. I love you.
Oh, shit. Are we out of time?
No, we still got 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I do want to give mad love to Jerry Rocha,
Yeah, I was
who
hoping you were
passed
gonna bring it
away.
up.
I don't know if you know Jerry, but
I may have back in the day.
I know him, and it's a comedy relationship, not a close friendship. But what I'm saying, and what many people are saying online, is this guy was exceptionally cool, positive, nice. I find, and that's a big deal in the stand-up comedy business, but really in the world is like, our business is so filled with like hustlers and snakes and people you think are your friends are all of a sudden not your friends and all this stuff. This guy would, like I wrote on Instagram, like always took my side. I remember the little things. Like when Ralphie May died, I remember walking into Last Comic Standing auditions and being like, uncomfortable. And Ralphie May just being like, "What's up, player?" And then I felt comfortable. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
And for me, I used to work with Jerry around 2013, 2014. I went back to emceeing at the Improvs because I didn't know what to do with my career. And he was working as like a feature, or we would flip-flop MC feature as support for bigger comics. And I remember telling him, like, I was emailing back and forth with this booker in Tucson who was one of these guys that's just a dickhead for the sake of being dickheads. We don't know anybody like this in politics or anything like that these days. But one of these guys is like, I have my perimeter in Tucson and I'm going to fucking treat you like shit. Wow. And I emailed the guy and he's like, yeah, I'll book you for the weekend, $800. Like that's anything after travel. And he's like, last time you were here, you weren't that good. So this time, you better bring it.
And he was a comedian?
No, he was a booker.
Oh, got you.
At a club in Tucson.
Got you.
And he's giving me attitude. And I emailed him back like, hey, man, I'm not walking into this like behind the 8-ball situation where I have to audition for the weekend I already have. So I will not be there. And I just remember telling Jerry that, and he was just like, yeah, fuck that guy. You know, just like taking my side. Whereas I know comics who are like, oh, dude, $800.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was just so cool that he took my side, and it was never a competition between us when we would work together as we flip-flop, which it very much can be when you're working 6 shows with somebody the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wants to be the star. It wasn't like that. It was just like me and him sitting at the table in Irvine, the old Irvine, eating junk food, having a great time. And I'll miss the guy. He was a good guy. He
was. He had cancer. He had a colon cancer. And he dealt with it and ultimately, like many cancers, unfortunately, it starts spreading or whatever. But he fought, and the interesting thing about the journey for him is he had some highs and lows, but he stayed positive the whole time.
Yeah,
he's always positive.
He
like
smiles.
You're talking about pre-cancer, Jerry, right? But then this dude gets it, and he still keeps rocking and rolling. Like, it was never woe is me, right? Also, not even just woe is me, but like a perfect example. And I kind of feel bad about this, but I shouldn't. I was actually talking to somebody yesterday.
You're a nice guy. Don't feel bad.
But that's what people feel guilty. They feel guilty about like, you don't share enough love. You find out someone passes. You didn't do enough. You didn't visit enough. All these things. These are the guilt that we carry. And what I said to somebody yesterday who called me, he's like, oh man, I hadn't seen him. I feel bad. I'm like, I want to tell you something that's extremely important because someone shared this with me. Stop making it about you. They're not thinking about us right now.
Yeah.
They're not holding a grudge.
Yeah.
Because you didn't go see them one more time.
Right.
That's us.
Yeah.
Being selfish.
Yeah.
I wasn't being a dick about it. I was just saying that's how we view it. How did I fuck up this scenario?
You
didn't.
You feel like you didn't do enough?
No. I was going to say to you.
Because you got me texting with the guy before he passed.
Right. So
you did more than your part.
So I was texting back and forth with them, and one of the things, and this is typical about Jerry, is that you know how I'm very condescending to myself. That's just who I am. And I texted something. I was checking in on him, but I always made sure, and this is a recommendation I have for anybody you're going through when people are sick. Don't always just go, how are you feeling today? How are you doing? Yeah. They already are reminded constantly that they're not doing well.
Yeah. So, the hospital's a dead giveaway.
Right? So I was always like, I'm just going to throw shit at the wall.
Right.
Silly memes, talking about shit that's not related to what they're going through, just anything that's not related to it. So we were talking about something, and he of course goes, like, what's up with you? And I made some comment like, oh, everything's fine in my life. The usual shit. My wife and kids hate me. I'm the failure of a father. Like, a wink emoji.
Can you believe this guy?
Wink emoji.
We look up to you so much, and then when we hear stuff like that, it's like, what?
But I made sure, because I knew the situation, like, I wasn't trying to compare what he was going through to, like, so I put a wink emoji in there, and then this motherfucker, like, he gives me this fucking speech about, like, bro, you are an amazing person. You're like, all this shit. And I'm like, fuck. And for 1 second, I felt bad.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it made it seem like I was going to some dude who was going through a bunch of shit and be like, hey, can you say some good things about me?
Right.
I know you're going through a lot of shit right now.
He is.
But it wasn't about that. It was like, that's how he rolled.
Yeah.
That's who Jerry Rocha was.
Yeah.
And so... And I appreciate all the people that talk about him as an artist, as a comedian, and what he meant to the comedy community. But I think at the core is, what did he mean to humanity?
Yeah.
Like, we all have one opportunity, whether you believe in like an afterlife, or if it cuts to dark, whatever it is, however your perspective is, it's what are you doing with your time?
Yeah.
And that's what he was, that guy that no matter how often you saw him or how often you didn't see him or how much you texted or didn't text, it was always guaranteed to be positive.
Yeah.
And that is more important than any comedy special or credits that you had or how many times, they got to headline or didn't get to headline.
Yeah.
All that shit doesn't mean a fucking hill of beans at the end of the day. Right? So that's my memory of him, is like that he just always to the end stayed very positive. He's just a good dude.
I ran into him after I got back from New York at the Comedy Store, and I was like, how you doing? He's like, oh, dude. Yeah. He just told me the whole thing without like really getting upset about it. He was happy he was still on this planet.
Yeah.
To tie everything up, we talked about last week, I have LifeLock. which is like a security, an online security thing.
Yes.
And it also monitors my social media.
Oh.
And it's constantly reporting to me that, hey, there's some sexual content on or like sexual language on your YouTube channel. And it's like, yeah, this is what I do, LifeLock.
This is what I do.
LifeLock.
This is crazy to me. I didn't really write anything sentimental about Jerry until Comedy Magic Club sent me a picture of him, and it just hit me like I was a lot closer with this guy than I thought. So I was like, no, I'm going to post a picture. I'm going to write. But before that, I was just writing because everybody's writing about it.
Yeah.
And so I just wrote, I will miss Jerry Rocha. And I get this thing from LifeLock that says, flags the post and says negative sentiment.
What?
Wow.
What is going on with LifeLock?
I'm like,
who hurt LifeLock?
LifeLock
and you say
picked up on the word.
You
miss.
say you are questioning things, like in your story.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that the wrong thing to say?
Right.
Because here's what's happening. As I say it, I'm realizing it. There's no person at LifeLock.
No.
There's just some computer thing that got it wrong.
Yeah.
You are saying something negative with the word miss,
AI,
as
dude.
if you will never see it again.
Report says this gentleman just died.
Yeah.
You know?
And you're saying negative things about him by missing him, like you missed out on the death, like you could have been a part of it. What are you talking about?
To be fair, it was on Twitter, which if you show any emotion on there, they're probably like, you're putting yourself in danger. You're making yourself very vulnerable right now in this cesspool of a social media platform.
LifeLock's response to you is, Matt, you need to show balls. Currently, you are very weak. Your vagina must hurt. Like,
this is not
minute.
a trend in the comedy movement.
Yeah.
See Kevin Hart roast.
Yeah. Don't be weak. You've been reported for being a pussy.
Yeah. No shit. Now I got people to report me for that.
Sorry, I got feelings, you fucking LifeLock.
No kidding. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Full Charge Power Hour. Check out the link to my special, which premieres in about 100 days on YouTube, unless it gets snagged. We already discussed all this stuff. And I don't mean flagged, I mean snagged by Netflix.
Yeah.
But honestly, as we discussed, YouTube is just as fucking cool. I'm super excited to put it out. And patreon.com/The Full Charge, because we're going to tape a clip show right now. We're actually getting straight to the clips on this next show, and it's going to be the next 4 episodes of our Patreon, 15-minute episodes. So pledge on Patreon, patreon.com/The Full Charge. You can pledge as much as you want, but you only need to pledge $1 to get this content. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Jerry Rocha.